ever tried to toast a slice of bread and you push down the lever and it doesn't stick? And you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, but it just won't stick. And then you realize your toaster isn't plugged in. I feel like dieting is like that sometimes. And okay, maybe y'all aren't struggling with your toaster like I am, but what I'm trying to say is that sometimes with dieting, we try so hard, we feel like we're doing everything right, eating right, exercising right, and we're still not seeing any results. And this has happened to me quite a few times at the start of my whole weight loss journey, and it is extremely frustrating and extremely discouraging to try so hard and not see any results. So in this video, I wanted to give a few reasons why you might not be seeing any results. And there's a lot of reasons. We're all different. We all could be struggling with quite a few things that's affecting our weight. But I did want to give some common reasons why you might not be losing any weight. So first is you just started. So I know a lot of times we start and we're going hard, we're eating all the right things, eating our servings of vegetables and our fruits and our meat, and we feel good, okay? And we're also walking more or doing whatever exercise it is that we chose. And by the end of the week, we feel like we should have lost a significant amount of weight. Sometimes we feel like that. And so you get on the scale and you're like, oh, it's the same, or maybe you lost a pound, or maybe you didn't lose anything. And I think a lot of times we need to set realistic goals. And that can come from two things why we have unrealistic goals. One, it could be looking at other people. So I know a lot of us watch the weight loss shows. A lot of us could be following other people who are losing weight, and we see how much weight they're losing, and we're like, okay, I'm eating about the same as them. I'm doing about the same as them. I should lose about the same as them. And that's not the case. So one, you just started, so be patient. You are completely different. Do not compare yourself to other people. Set goals that fit you, what you're going through, and your lifestyle. And so you might be asking, what goal should I set? And I think starting out, just set a goal to make small changes. I wouldn't worry so much about the scale. If say in 3-4 weeks, you're still not seeing results, then it's a good idea to reevaluate what you're eating and how you're moving, but definitely what you're eating. But when you're starting out, just focus on the small changes. And if you're feeling good, then that's a really good sign. Okay, do not compare yourself to how fast someone else is going. And that's the other thing. It's not a race, okay? This is a lifestyle change. You want something that's sustainable. You don't want it to be too fast, because if it is, you might get trapped in that yo-yo dieting where you're losing a bunch of weight because you're restricting so much. And then once you're done with that restrictive diet and you go back to your old ways because you didn't really work on the habits that needed to change, you gain all the weight back. Okay, so at the beginning, focus on making small changes, small habits, and don't be so focused on the scale, because as we all know, the scale can be really discouraging. It's a good tool, but I wouldn't rely so much on it. So that was number one. You just started. Number two, you aren't tracking. And I know a lot of people don't like counting calories. You don't like writing down your food, but there's a reason why it's so effective. A lot of times we don't know what we're eating, how much we're eating. So for example, snacking. A lot of us, and I know me, for example, I will go downstairs and sometimes forget what I'm even doing. I might go downstairs to get, an envelope or something and end up like getting a handful of chips. And I'm like so in my head, not really thinking, but it's a habit when I go through the kitchen and past my pantry to grab a handful of chips or cookies. I don't even remember I did that. But if you're writing down, that means you're more mindful of what you're eating. It's like, oh, whoa. Now I have to write this down. I did just go and grab a handful of chips, something that obviously you know you're doing it, but you don't really realize it when you're not tracking. Okay, so tracking is a really good tool to kind of see if you're overeating or snacking too much, or maybe just not eating the right foods. So if you're eating foods that are processed, they're probably not filling you up, and you're just going to keep snacking or keep eating on certain foods. And obviously there's a lot that goes into that, but track what you're eating, especially if you're not seeing any results. I think that's a good way to pinpoint what's going on. So tracking your food. Next, switch it up. If you have been seeing results and then all of a sudden you've hit a plateau for a few weeks, you don't know what's going on, you've been seeing results, and now it's just stopped. One thing is, here we go with the scale. I really like taking monthly measurements, so I think that's a good idea if you're trying to lose weight. Take your measurements, be mindful of how you're feeling, your energy level. I think that's a good way to see if you're still improving and progressing towards your goals, not just the scale. But if you aren't seeing results after a few weeks, you're at that plateau, then switch it up. Switch up your exercise, switch up what you're eating. I've had to do this several times because it's easy to eat the same types of food because that works. But your body's like, okay, I'm used to this. I know exactly what she's going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner now. I can chill, nothing new's coming. I already know her, So switch it up, okay? If you've been eating taco bowls, all week, change it up to something else. Exercising, if you've been doing a lot of walking, throw something else in there. If you can, obviously listen to your body, throw some jump rope in there, swimming, take a class. So just something different so that your body can be like, oh, well, that's different and it's a little new, but I kind of like it. So switch it up. And I think that kind of keeps the weight loss journey exciting when you're doing something new. Because I think that's another way to kind of get unmotivated. You get bored yourself. So switch it up, do something new. And I promise that will most likely take you out of that plateau. And then the last one, which is a big one, is overeating on the weekend. Okay, a lot of us have cheat meals, and I'm guilty of that too, where I'll eat during the week, and then Fridays I'll go to Moe's and get my burrito bowl, and I'm so excited about it. But the problem with that, especially if you're on a restrictive diet and you're like, okay, I made it to Saturday, I'm able to have a cheat meal. You might have a cheat meal and then just kind of completely almost lose control. So during the week, your breakfast is your protein shake, and lunch is your salad, and dinner is chicken and veggies, which nothing is wrong with that. But if you have a craving, say Tuesday, for your favorite cookie at your favorite cookie shop, and you say, no, I'm going to wait until Saturday, or I'm going to wait until next week because I did horrible this past weekend, then chances are you're going to get to this weekend and have that cookie and say, oh my gosh, that was so good. And you know what? I worked out and a lot this past weekend. I deserve more. And then it kind of just turns into like a domino effect where you're just eating everything. You're like, I deserve this. I did so good. But then it's like Saturday, you're eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, something high carb, high fat. And you're doing that Saturday and Sunday. So completely overeating, completely different what you're doing during the week. And so here comes Monday, you're sluggish, you don't even feel like moving, feel like working out, definitely don't feel like meal prepping and cooking, and it just throws you off. And you kind of have to almost start over with your progress. If you overeat, don't shame yourself, don't punish yourself. it happens, okay? Overeating and being mindful of our bodies is something that takes time. I've struggled with overeating too. But my point with the overeating on the weekends is a lot of times it's because we're so restrictive during the week. If you want your cookie on that Tuesday, go get your cookie. Because chances are you won't binge or overeat on it because you're listening to yourself. And most of the time, all you wanted was the cookie. Okay? And then, again, that goes back to tracking your food. Because I think if you put down, oh, I had my one cookie and I feel good with just that one cookie, you'll stop there. Again, the overeating, binge eating, emotional eating, that stuff takes time. But it's better to give it to yourself during the week instead of waiting to the weekend to just eat everything that you've been thinking about eating during the week. So the overeating, that's a big one. And I have videos coming, more videos coming about overeating. So, but yeah, don't be too restrictive with your diet, okay? One cookie isn't gonna hurt you. And I just say cookie, but it could be, your favorite bag of chips, the small bags of, Cheetos, whatever it is. So just kind of be mindful of that. So yeah, those are some reasons why you might not be seeing results. So you just started, you aren't tracking. Again, that's a big one. You might need to switch it up. And again, overeating on the weekends. So let me know if any of those resonated with you, or if you're going to be more mindful of what you're eating and kind of what you're doing, and hopefully stop any comparison, because I know that gets us in trouble and kind of makes us want to rush and think that we're not doing things right when we look at other people. So let me know in the comments section your thoughts about this video. If you are at a point where you're just not seeing any results, you don't know what you're doing, and you're just at a loss, then direct message me and we can talk about some of the challenges you're facing. And then, of course, I will talk about my program and see if it's a good fit, if you would like one-on-one coaching. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and more to come. Bye.